what I want to do now is just talk a little bit about the future. We actually did our release candidate 1 release of the SPDX model a couple of weeks back. We're working on a release candidate 2, which will have some update based on the feedback we've received. And SPDX 3 is a fairly major upgrade to the SPDX specification. And these are some of the drivers and enhancements that you'll find in SPDX 3. First one is simplification. We've gotten feedback that if all I care about is security, I don't want to have to learn all this license stuff. Or if all I care about licenses, I don't want to know about all the security stuff. So we're introducing this concept of profiles. And so when the spec is released, you'll be able to go into our website, select the profile you're interested in, and only see the information for that profile. But we can also use the profiles for validation. Within a particular profile, say licensing, you may say that for that profile, the declared license is required, the concluded license is required. Whereas if you're doing the security profile, there's no need to be able, to have those same fields. So it's both for validation and for, readability of the spec. We were making some changes to make it a lot more flexible. I think the biggest change we're making is you no longer have to wrap everything around a document. And what this enables is if you want to make a database of SBOM elements available, over the internet, and you want to be updating those almost real time, you can set that up and comply with the SPDX specification. So you can go all the way down to the very individual file or even just the individual relationship and make that available. And the standard has all of the linkages in there and the verification information to make that work. So it's going to be a lot more flexible, especially for online data access. We're adding some very specific information about software, build and usage metadata for repeatable builds. And then AI, actually AI and data I think is the most interesting one. There is so much going on in AI. And if you look at what's going on in the regulatory environment, there's like a crying need for information about what's going into these AI models, especially the data going into the AI models. So we have a sub-team of people that are deep into this area that are defining, properties and parts of the spec for AI and data. And then even beyond 3.0, we got a few work groups that have already started up. Safety standard automation. If you think about software that's being used in medical devices, you want to make sure that it's safe. So this actually goes beyond, the build and the security environment that we're doing in 3.0. And there's already quite a bit of work going on in this particular area. If you want a medical device to be safe with the software, you need to know what hardware it runs on and what is the configuration for the hardware. So we have some work going on in that area as well. And then one of the groups that I'm leading up is SPDX for services. And this is actually based on a CISA work group for service transparency. So we're basically taking the work that they've provided and making sure that if you're using a software as a service, that you can get basically a service bomb, of the information and be able to use that to know that you can trust the service provider that's in there.